What is up, all forms of social media? James, Joseph, Edward, Jesperger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. I am wearing a hat today. So if you guys are just tuning into this video for the first time, or for me for the first time, hello, I'm Jimmy. This is my podcast where I talk about whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to have to censor that out because YouTube does not like cursing in the first minute of the video. But this is a podcast episode of the Lions Roar podcast where I just talk about a certain topic, and if it kind of goes off track or if I talk about certain things, we will talk about all those type of certain things as I talk for a freaking hour. So let's see where it goes. I hope you guys enjoy this. Today's episode will be about tattoos. Now, specifically, I wanted to wait to do this episode, not just because of what happened on TikTok, but because tattoos are really important to me, and I kind of wanted to leave like a video each of the story of each one of my tattoos. But I feel like this video should come out now with everything that's going on. If you are just following me randomly and you haven't seen my TikTok, thankfully and weirdly enough, I posted a viral video of me, a video that went like viral. I don't know if I consider it viral or not, but it got like over 500,000 views in like 3 days, and I've gotten 10,000 followers plus on TikTok since this past Friday, which is now Thursday, so it's been about a week now, about a week ago, but it has been amazing and weird at the same time. I kind of wished they would all transfer over to YouTube and Twitch, but that's a different story in itself. I'm just going to have to keep working, and I love doing this stuff, and I'm going to do it forever, so you guys are going to be stuck with me for a long time, and you'll love my footage. Don't worry. But the video had to do with tattoos, and tattoos are a big part of my life. It's actually kind of ironic that I'm wearing the most like coverings of clothes doing this tattoos podcast, because like usually I have like a tank top on, or you can see like the ends of my arms and stuff like that. But today, let's just keep it to the mind's eye. If I need to show a tattoo, I will. But today we're talking about my tattoos and kind of my tattoo journey in general. The first time, so I guess we'd have to start with, when did I first start getting tattoos? That's where usually people start off, because usually when you want tattoos, you get them right after, right? That was not for me. When I was born in 1993, so I'm currently 27. I would be 28 this year. Holy shit. But man, that really caught me off guard. But ever since 8 years old, so 20 years ago almost, I've always wanted full sleeves. Like that was my goal. That was my job as a kid. And actually, the weirdest person that I emulated and one of the tattoos, because I saw that person, I was like, oh my God, that'd be amazing to have them, was actually Andy Hurley. And most people probably won't know who this person is, but he is one of my favorite drummers growing up. He's the drummer of Fall Out Boy, and he, back then even too, he was completely covered from his neck all the way down to like, I believe his ankles, covered in tattoos, or maybe even more than that. I love the way it looked. I loved his style. I loved who he was as a person growing up, and I kind of wanted to emulate that and get tattoos like that. I knew I didn't want the full like chest piece and everything. I just wanted my arms fully covered. Then fast forward up until, I would say, probably my high school years, definitely like sophomore year of high school, junior year of high school. I kind of had this like symbolism with lions starting off, and I was tired of being like pushed around by people. I wanted to be better about myself. So that's where the lion's head actually came from. And the lion's head you would think would be my first tattoo, but there's a whole story behind that. I wanted somebody to do it realistically. I wanted somebody to actually do the tattoo that was going to look like realism. I wanted the tattoo real. So I kind of was waiting and hoping, and I knew that these tattoos that were mostly realism tattoos were going to be a lot of money. So I waited for that, and I did other things while I was waiting. I didn't start getting tattooed until college, though, but I had all these ideas popping up. So my first idea was I wanted the lion's head. And then I believe I knew I wanted roses. Like I wanted to, so there are these things called Japanese like tattoo suits. I think there's actually a proper name for them, but I just call them tattoo suits. And people get like full designs of tattoos covering their entire bodies instead of like individually picking them and then like filling them out and stuff like that. And most people don't even get their whole entire bodies covered. But I heard of that idea and I was like, you know what? I want to be a bed of roses. I want my entire body, whether I'm completely covered in roses and have no other tattoos, or I just want all roses, or if I want tattoos in roses. That was my goal. I wanted that so much, like a tattoo suit to be. Then in my sophomore year of college, I was like, you know what? I think it's finally time. I'm going to start getting a tattoo. So my sophomore and junior year were the years that I was like, okay, let me think of what I want to do. Do I want something else while I'm waiting for the lion? Because I wanted to look for somebody for realism, but like it was a whole bunch of things. So my sister's boyfriend at the time, but ex-boyfriend, was like, oh, well, my cousin actually owns a tattoo shop. Would you want to go in and I can like actually draw up your tattoo? Because her boyfriend at the time was an artist too and wanted to be a tattoo artist. And I told him, you know what? I will give you an idea of what I want, and then I will go in for that tattoo. So to backtrack a little bit, so I really knew I wanted a tattoo after the new year. I'll never forget this. So it's my junior year of college, and we did, instead of New Year, New You, we did New Year Better Me. So I always say that to people, you can't completely get rid of the person that you were before. You can only better the thing that you did before. So I always say New Year Better Me. And I knew I wanted lions. I knew I loved the symbolism behind them. I knew I was a lion. And my favorite quote is, why be a sheep among lamb when you could be a lion among the greats? And we did this event at my college where you would take a symbol, you would cut out like your symbol, and you would write your New Year's resolution on it, and you would put it on the wall. Because I was really into New Year's resolutions, even though we knew that it wasn't going to completely change the person. We wanted something that would like egg them on to be better. And somebody actually asked me, well, Jimmy, what are you going to put on the wall? And I was like, you know what? Like my whole, like as a resident assistant or a commuter assistant as I actually was, but people don't even know that until I say like an RA. This was like an RA event kind of thing, but for commuters and anybody who wanted to do it. I told myself, you know, maybe I'll wait to post mine once everybody's done. And the wall was pretty good, like pretty well filled. And then it got to me, and I was like, okay, well, I know what my New Year's resolution is. I don't want to be a new me. I want to be a better me. I want to be a better Jimmy. So I took out, and I loved, ever since I was younger, and I still need to get this tattoo, I've loved the King of Hearts. I love that symbolism of him with if you didn't notice, the King of Hearts has a sword or a knife through his head. And I love that just like as a symbolism and like with the hearts and like the King of Hearts. Being very emotional, like I feel like that's a lot like me, and that's the card that I identify with. I really like that card. So I've always loved hearts, though. I loved hearts and I've loved roses, and I drew a heart. I cut it out. I put the New Year Better Me, and I was like, you know what? I think this is missing something. And I've always known in my head that like lions are the kings of things. And I was like, man, I want to be better. I want to be a king at something. Like, I want to be better this year. I want to be the king of my life. So with the heart and the crown, I cut out a crown. I put it on the heart. And if you've seen any of my old merch that I did when I first started YouTubing, and I've gotten rid of that I want to bring back full-heartedly. And my first tattoo is actually a heart with a crown and then a paw on it, because the paw was representative of the lion already. But the lion part was me being better with the ink from me writing my New Year's resolution. So that's how that kind of tattoo came about. Now, after I had this idea, I told my sister's boyfriend at the time, I said, hey, the idea is I would like a heart with a lion's paw in the middle of it, and then I want a crown on top of it. So he drew me up something. I already loved it, but the only thing I didn't like was, which I kind of maybe would have changed now if I would have known how much of an impact just having a paw on you has, because then people are like, what the hell is on your arm? What paw is that? Because people think it's a bear. They think it's like a dog or something, because they think it's like my household pet that died. No. So I have to say this story really fast. Once I went into a Wawa around my college, and I was cracking up because I didn't have the heart to tell her this. I think I did lightly like say it in a nice way, but she came up to me and she's like, I know what that is. She's like, with the tattoo, I was like, oh, you do? Because I was like, this is like my original idea. Is there somebody else that has it? She goes, that's like Kingdom Hearts. My granddaughter plays that. And I was like, oh no, I love Kingdom Hearts too, but this isn't for Kingdom Hearts. And I kind of felt bad because I was like, man, she really like knew the thing that her granddaughter liked, and I was like, I don't want to put that down because you actually knew something about the culture of teens and adults and video games. And I was like, yes, but it was still cool. So he drew up this idea with a tail on it, and I was like, let's get rid of the tail. And it's been my brand since then, so like I love it. And now I actually need to thank him like full-heartedly since that, because it's been my staple for everything. Went in, got the tattoo done, and it changed me. I genuinely think it really changed me. Not as much as I would have liked it to. Like, some people think like, man, I'm going to get this tattoo. It's going to make me better. It's going to make me think about this thing more. You really need to actively be doing it. Have I been better since that day? Oh, hell yeah. I've been way better at the things that I've wanted to do since then. But it wasn't like an immediate thing. It definitely was like a gradual, like, okay, now I see this tattoo every day. Now I think about it more. I think about it better. Then after this tattoo, my first tattoo, my second tattoo was actually a spontaneous tattoo. My family was not happy about it. It was something that was like meaningful to me. It was something that I really wanted anyway. I always knew growing up that I wanted some form of like music tattoo. I wanted something that like identified with me, that made me show people that like I was a musician. And I didn't want something like drummy. Like, I didn't want a drumstick. I didn't want a drum. Because I played other instruments too, and people would have been like, oh, well, you're just a drummer. It's like, no, I play other things. So I thought about the whole fad came out with like people being like, oh, well, you should put a treble clef and a bass clef together and make a heart. And I already did kind of have a heart, and I was like, oh man, like I really don't want that idea. So this is actually where it gets kind of funny. Apparently, there is a girl that was on campus with me who had the same exact tattoo that I got, but I didn't know that she had it, and she thought that I copied her. And I was like, no, I genuinely thought about this too. Like, I didn't think that anybody had this. I thought I was being original. And so my one best friend, he really wanted a tattoo, but his religion doesn't allow him to have tattoos. And I said, dude, like, you should just do it. You only live once. Like, I'll go with you. You should get your tattoo done. I'll get the tattoos behind my ears, and like, it'll be something cool that you can get. So the tattoo that I was brainstorming at the time, and I already knew that I wanted a treble clef behind my right ear, and I wanted a bass clef behind my left ear. Because when you play the piano, you have your treble clef hand here, and you have your bass clef hand on your left hand side. So I had, the treble clef on the right and the bass clef on the left, which was symbolic for music theory, and people would understand and be like, wow, I really understand why you have those tattoos if you're a musician. Friend went in. I couldn't even sit next to him because of the tattoo parlor we were in. It was a different tattoo artist than I had before. And the tattoo was, I will say this, my first tattoo was not as painful. It actually wasn't that bad. Like, it was right here to here-ish. And it was on the bicep tricep area. It actually wasn't that bad. I thought it was probably my easiest tattoo to get, even though it was my first. The ear tattoos, so I have the treble clef behind my ear and I have the bass clef behind my ear. What's also behind your ear? It's your fucking skull. I got the treble clef and the bass clef tattooed on my skull, essentially. And I don't have tattoos on my, like, the bigger part of my skull or like on my hairline and stuff. If I had that, I would have been like crying. But like 10% of the tattoo on each side is on my skull. So I was just like, man, this freaking hurts so freaking bad, because it's the closest nerve to your brain. It is your brain, essentially. But my friend got the tattoo. He was super proud of it too. He was happy about it. He doesn't show it much because he was hiding it from his family, which I thought was kind of funny. But it eventually did get out, and his family doesn't care as much, and his fiance likes it too. So I think I made the right decision with him. I think I forced him to do something that he was going to love anyway. It's just that it's right on his ankle, so it's not like as noticeable. Then so this was in 2 years of schooling. So I got my tattoo on my arm, then I got the two behind my ears. or one behind each ear. And then after senior year, during senior year. Sorry, this was in 2 years because I remember I did it before I graduated. If you do not know my story, at Arcadia, where I went to college for my university, I was one of the mascots. I was the Arcadia Knight. And if you did not know, I have the Arcadia Knight tattooed on my right pec. I wanted that tattooed on my chest because of the story I already told before, but I'll tell it lightly again because I have so many tattoos and things to talk about, and I can go on tangents forever. The tattoo was because, not only because I was the knight and I loved mascotting and I wanted the mascot forever, like I technically still do now, even though quarantine's going on. The tattoo was on my chest because when I first put on the suit, it was too small to put on around my chest. It fit everywhere else besides the chest. I told myself, this is something that I truly love, and I wanted it close to my heart. So it went on my right pec because of two main reasons. And I had a cast member tell me before it's as big as a melon because they did not like tattoos. And I already had my full sleeve done on my left side, which was really funny for them to find out I had tattoos. And yeah, I genuinely love it so much. And it's my first tattoo that wasn't like on an arm, if that makes sense. It was something that was like, most people get tattoos on their arms or their legs. And I was like, you know what? I want something closer to me, something better. So that was my senior year. And on top of that, I did not tell anybody besides maybe 3 of my closest friends at Arcadia that I was the Arcadia Knight, besides people that knew for work, etc., stuff like that. And I didn't put it out there, and I got the tattoo done, and I finally posted it, and I was like, man, I'm super proud of this. Like, I went to Arcadia, and I couldn't say why I really got the tattoo besides being like, oh yeah, I really love Arcadia, etc., blah, blah, blah. Then I was known around campus. I already was known as Jimmy, but I was told around on campus as the guy who got the Arcadia tattoo. And I had one of my closest friends who didn't even know why I got the tattoo, who's not a friend anymore, obviously, but was like saying to other people, like, why did he fucking get that Arcadia tattoo? Like, does he have that much fucking school spirit? And then after that, I was like, you obviously don't care then. Like, even if I got something weird tattooed on me, you should care enough to, like, ask me about it and not, like, talk behind my back kind of thing. So that was a whole story. And then on top of that, the person who hired me originally to be the mascot at Arcadia was also the head of graphic design. And he designed the new logo for the Arcadia Knight. So I had a new logo on my chest. And he found out later after he was like it was graphic design was a lot for him. He was head of graphic design, and then he wanted one of the sports people to eventually run it anyway. So he, moved me over to the sports department, which I thought was ironic that I was in the sports department. But he found out later that I did that, and one of the students came up to me and was like, oh my God, he didn't know who it was, and he found out that he knew you already, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I am basically a walking ad for Arcadia, which I think is super funny, and I have an Arcadia hat on right now, I think. I'm not going to look because I don't want to mess up my hair. My hair looks horrible right now. So the other cool thing about my Arcadia tattoo is I waited till my senior year to find somebody to do it who was also an Arcadia student or an Arcadia alumni. So I actually got somebody from Arcadia, an Arcadia alumni, to tattoo an Arcadia Knight on my chest. So thought that was awesome, thought that was huge and symbolic, and thought it was some of the best art or stuff that I have. So then I would technically say this is my 4th tattoo. Also, that's a huge thing that people ask me too. They're like, how many tattoos do you have? Now I don't say how many tattoos I have. I just say how many spots of my body are covered. So we did my left. Well, we have the number of tattoos for now. So we have my first one, my second one on my ears, the third one on my right pec, and then we have my back. So I do have an upper back tattoo. It doesn't get brought up a lot, but I do actually have one. My upper back tattoo is also another walking ad. I mean, I guess I am a whole billboard of walking ads right now because one is for my brand, one is for Arcadia, my university's brand, and then one is a brand that I was already a brand and I knew that I was going into it and loving it. So, long story short, when I was losing all the weight and I was looking up fitness influencers and stuff like that, Dalen Bailey and Rob Bailey are the 2 biggest influences I have for fitness. And I love Flag Nor Fail. That's their company, and Flag Nor Fail and anything and everything, and making myself want to do everything that I've wanted and never ever stop. Their logo is an anchor with an axe through it. So I now officially have a black and white anchor with an axe through it. Not only for me to remember to, like, be myself, push harder, don't care what other people think. They have a bunch of sayings that I'm not going to say. They say, you know what, I'll say it. They say, like, kill everything, run this shit like you own everything. That's how I wanted to be. I wanted to be better about myself because I should be that confident. I shouldn't be cocky, but I should be confident because I came from a very lax, non-caring. Well, I shouldn't say non-caring. I was too caring, and I cared about what people thought, and I needed to just be confident in myself. But also, it's a remembrance of Dana Lynn Bailey and Rob Bailey because they don't care what they look like. Dana Lynn Bailey was Miss Olympia. She huge muscles, stuff like that, and so many people were telling her that she looked like a guy and she must be taking steroids. And she lives her life the way that she wants, and Rob lives the way that he wants to. And it's actually just came up on their 10-year anniversary for the company, which I thought was cool too, as I'm doing this video. So that's that tattoo. So we have 4 down so far. We have my 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I got into the craze again, me being my 8-year-old self. I wanted my sleeves done. Now, I need to go back for a second because the TikTok commenters are going to go crazy about this again. In 2013, when I got this tattoo done, I told myself that my left arm was going to be completely colored and my right arm was going to be grayscale, black and gray, or if you want to call it black and white, but it's not really black and white. I knew that I wanted this whole arm with a lion to be black and white. That was what I wanted for my arm. I knew this since then. And I also told myself at that time, because I had that idea with it being black and white and me thinking about my body and my tattoos, I told myself that I would love eventually to have kids, to have my kids, to have people color in the tattoos with markers. I've always had that idea. You guys, any of my closest friends, I've always had that idea. I just could not have the money to pay for it, and I wanted to finish this arm first. So then the same person who tattooed my right pec and my back also did all of this left sleeve besides the first tattoo. So they did a portrait around it, which has a bunch of roses. It has my butterfly for Naruto, for Choji, because I've always thought of myself as a real-life Choji, going from this big dude who cares about his friends, will do anything for his friends and family, to losing the weight and being a better person and metamorphosizing into this butterfly. So I actually have a blue butterfly like Choji on my arm, underneath my armpit where my bicep meets my armpit. I have a D20 in a rose, because I'm a huge D&D nerd. I fell in love with D&D back in 2016. I played my first game. I got into Critical Role then, and I've been playing D&D ever since. I'm in a ton of campaigns right now. I also have a woman, like a mythical D&D woman, not like necessarily a character. I did give her a name and like a character for eventual games if like I am the DM. I've DM'd before, but like I've never brought her up yet. She would be one of the main goddesses. It is also a remembrance for all the roses. So why roses? Roses symbolically mean so much to me, and if you look up like red roses and white roses and stuff like that, they have so much meaning behind them. I also just love the way that they look, and on top of that, super sappy. One of the things that I've always known is Beauty and the Beast. Prince Adam is the Disney princess that I love and want to be and strive for and stuff like that. Or the Beast, as you can call him. Ever since I heard the musical for Beauty and the Beast, I've wanted to play the Beast so bad. I've not gotten a chance to play the Beast. I know for a fact, though, I would either be playing the Beast or I would be playing Gaston at this point. I've been called for either. When I was younger, I played LeFou, but I never got a chance to actually play the characters, and I want to play the Beast. One time in my life, I want to play the Beast. Like, I have to. So that's why roses, essentially. I just love roses in general. And there's just so much in his character, essentially with the new movie coming out, but especially with the musical and the songs, like how he overcame love and like how if he has nothing, if he doesn't have love, he has nothing. Like Let the World End with Me. Like I love those songs and those meanings. So that's why I have a ton of roses on me that are in different colors and now in black and gray. So just putting that out there. Uh, then we have that, and then we have the claw marks. The claw marks, wow, speaking so weird. The claw marks are a little bit more emotional driven than anything else. Growing up, I did have friends who did cut themselves, and in the last couple of years, well, since I was younger, I've had suicidal tendencies. I've been dealing with a lot of mental issues, and I've never been tested. I've been to therapy, but I've never been tested, and I think this year coming up is going to be my year where I, like, hopefully get tested for things and such. But in the last 2 years, actually maybe even more than that now, but in the same year, almost a year and a half apart, I've had 2 cousins commit suicide on different sides of my family. I've had a grandmother die, and not a lot of people know that because I don't really talk about the emotional side of a lot of things. The claw marks for me had 2 main reasons, and I'll tell my reason first, and then I'll tell the most important reason. I originally wanted them because I felt like in my life I was dealt so much from other people. I kept taking the burden from other people. I kept, like, trying to help people, and, like, no one was helping me, so people were just climbing over top of me and, like, hitting me with words, and I wasn't saying anything back. So, like, if you look at my claw marks on my arm, it actually looks like they can be swiped this way, like down at me, or they can look like that I swiped them, kind of thing. So to me, they mean that, like, I should be dishing out the same things that I get from other people. I should be able to have the pride and the courage to, like, fight back that the same thing that people do onto me. And then the other reason is for suicide prevention and for anybody that needs help or self-harming, because losing somebody, even though I've been dealing with my own issues, is horrible, and no one should have to go through it. But I understand where people come from when they're dealing with these mental issues and they're dealing with life issues, and your life is yours to live, but also life is beautiful, so you should be wanting to do things and experiencing as much as you can. And I should also say that too. I'm always there for people who need to talk, who want to talk. Yeah. So then after that, so after this whole arm was done, I'm pretty sure I got all of it done. The lady, the dice, the roses. I debated getting some other things on the arm, and I could technically get more things on the arm, but I'm going to wait. I might fill in some more, like, smoky. There's, like, a blue aura around a lot of it, and the blue just looks nice with the orange, so I was like, sure. I give all my tattoo artists a little bit of artistic freedom with colors and shading, and unless I specifically want something exactly that way, like the one I'm about to bring up, then it's like that. Actually, the second one after I bring up the first one. So then I had a huge break from getting tattoos because of money and because of acting and stuff like that. I was kind of being, like, cautious about things. Which I have found out, do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares if you have tattoos? Like, live your life because that's what you want to do and that's your art form. And tattoos should be more accepting people should be more accepting of tattoos. Then I got my lion done. And it was so interesting. My tattoo artist now is actually the one that does all my art now. And I might go to a different artist for different things. Like, I've had 4 different artists now, I think. So it's interesting. Wait. Yeah, I've had 4. I've had 4 artists so far. And I love just different styles and stuff like that too. But I do love the artists that I have now. And not to say I didn't love the artists before, but I really feel like I found somebody who does the artwork that I want for the rest of my pieces for now. If I wanted something specifically geared towards something else, I would get somebody else to do it. But she didn't know me from Adam. Actually heard of her from a friend who did a bunch of her tattoos and actually got a tiger tattoo on her arm. And I asked her who it was, and I wanted to meet up with her and stuff like that. And I told her, I want this picture. I sent her a picture of a realistic lion. I said, I want this on my arm, but in black and white, please, or black and gray. And she was like, yeah, awesome. And she knew nothing about me, by the way. So I, like, came in, and she was like, hey, I hope you don't mind, but, like, I added some things to your line. And I kind of was thinking in my head, like, shit. Like, I'd lost my breath there. That's why I had to take a second breath. I was like, shit. I really just wanted a lion head. I want like the mane to be huge because that's why I grow out my hair also. Like I just wanted the lion. And she pulled out this picture. I had a tank top on, but I had a jacket over top of it. She pulled out this picture or this tattoo idea, and it was a lion with a crown on it. And I was like, wait. And my friends, I thought my friend talked to her about me. I was like, did my friend tell you about me? She's like, no. I was like, well, my other side has a lion paw and a heart and a crown. And she's like, wow, that's really interesting. And I said, oh, well, she put a crown with roses on top of it because I forgot she already had the roses done too. I said, did you know about me at all? She's like, no, I just took a guess. I thought you might like this. I said, wow, that is like fate. I didn't believe in fate too often about that, but I went, wow, you like guessed at this, and that is me full-heartedly. She didn't know me. She didn't have my Instagram. My friend didn't tell her about me, I don't think. So, yeah, I got the lion tattooed on me. And then I told her I wanted a full ass sleeve. Like I wanted a full sleeve. And I wanted it all in the colors because not in colors. I wanted it all in black and gray colors so that people could color in my tattoos and such like that. And then my arm seriously needed a break. And I think also I brought up a tattoo idea to her that I wanted on my leg. So we took a break from my arm, and then we went straight to my leg. So I have one tattoo on my left calf. I have no other leg tattoos for now. But so I've been watching Critical Role for years, and they're into their second, whatever this is in the future. But if you're watching this, but this is during their second campaign where things are going crazy. But there was a fan artist named Courtney, amazing artist on Twitter, drew a Yasha picture. He drew Yasha with a flower in her hands and her surrounded in flowers during the fan art of the week. And I saw that picture and I was like, man, that would be an awesome tattoo. Like genuinely, that would be an amazing tattoo. And I already was kind of feeling like I identified with Yasha. Like Yasha has gone through this stuff. I feel like I emotionally connect with her more often than other characters on the second campaign. Like the first campaign, it was a mix of like Grog because of the humor and like because who he was as a stand-up kind of guy, and then Scanlan was more of the jokey musician side, and Vax was more of like the darker side of me. Yasha has been like a full kind of like 180 kind of person, and as she gets more and more out, and like her whole lover story kind of happened to me, so not to that extreme, but like losing somebody and then like not being able to do certain things, and the way you feel and the way you deal with your emotions was like hard hitting for me. So I saw that fan art and they said it was beautiful, and I felt all those things about Yasha and about the tattoo and about the fan art. And I personally messaged Courtney on Twitter and I asked, can I get this tattooed on me? And totally fine with it. I said, hey, I'm going to pay you too. Like I want to commission it. Like you were the artist, I want to commission you and commission for your time. So whatever you think is worthy of it, or if you want to wait till after I get the tattoo done and you want to know that, and I'll just pay you the price of the tattoo and tip plus, awesome, I'll do that. And she said, yeah. Like basically she actually told me in the beginning, like, you don't have to pay me. And then I was like, no, I'm going to pay you. So a few months passed by, and then the break came and I said, oh, well, can we do this tattoo while we're waiting for my arm to heal? Because I had money at the time and I was like really urgent about getting more tattoos and everything. So I went in, got it done. She was like, is there any changes you want for it? I said, honestly, I would rather it be closer to the fan art that it already is. I already love the way that it is. She's like, awesome, I love it too. My tattoo artist loved it so much. She was like, I'm fine with just tattooing it the way that it is. So I got it done and added a little bit more of the flowers around so that it was more fleshed out, because the corners kind of cut off some flowers from the original fan art. Got it done, paid for it, loved it. It was actually 2 sessions to get it done. Then I messaged Courtney back and I said, hey, it's done. This was the price of the tattoo. If you're cool with it, I'll pay that and tip on top of it. She was totally fine with it. Got it set in. And yeah, I've loved that tattoo. I've loved all my tattoos, but that one I was like, man, I could wear shorts any day now and like show off tattoos. Like it's kind of some days like I could wear like a short sleeve shirt any day and have my tattoos show, but like when you finally like, man, I can wear shorts and now have a tattoo showing, it's like, which I'm probably going to be wearing a short sleeve shirt anyway if I'm wearing, but it's winter right now, so it's not the best to wear like short sleeves and a shorts, so whatever. Then after that break, we went back to my arm and I got the rest of my arm done. So here's where I'm kind of at with tattoos now, and then I'll talk on a tangent about whatever comes out of my mouth. The arm is almost done. There was just a few flowers we wanted to do at the top and a few shading things we wanted to fix up. And, you know, artists always have to be perfectionists, or I feel like I have to be a perfectionist too. And she wants to fix some things that I haven't even noticed. But my right arm is almost done. I think next session, when I go in to finish the rest of the roses, I asked her if we could do a really small tattoo that I will pay separately to for that tattoo. I never want to pay for 2 tattoos at once. Like, I hate feeling like you have to do that. And I told her that I would tip 2 on the second tattoo. I've been waiting to get this. My whole body's mapped out by this point, and I probably will talk about it because that's where my brain's going to go after all this for the rest of the podcast episode. But I basically have my entire body mapped out, I think. At this point, I think I have most of my body mapped out. And so if you did not know, I grow my hair out not only because I love the way it looks and because of the lion thing and everything. I also grow it out because I donate it. That's the main reason why I grow out my hair. I donate it once it gets down to my waist up to my chest, and I've donated it twice now. One time I had to cut it for a show. I got paid for it. I didn't get a chance to donate it at that time because it was too short. But this is like my 4th time growing out my hair super, super long, and I cannot wait to have it back. But I want to get an infinity sign under my hairline, right where my hair ends and my neck starts. I want to get an infinity sign there because I want to forever, if I can, grow my hair out and donate it and give it to people that really need it. That's been something that I've wanted to do. I'll probably talk about it separately in a podcast, but I have always, and maybe I'll have my best friend Sam, because I donate my hair with her. It'd be interesting to hear her point of view and how she started and stuff like that. I don't even know if I know the full story for her. Yeah, I've wanted to donate my hair ever since I had the Bieber swoop in high school. I've wanted to donate my hair. I just never had the balls to do it. I never had the guts to grow my hair out that long. And then finally, my sophomore year of high school, I started growing out my hair. Or my end of freshman year, I started growing out my hair. Because I always grew it out super long. But then people asked me to start like parting it because I had the Bieber swoop for a while. And I was like, okay, I don't hate this. And then it grew out super long. And I was like, I love this. I actually prefer my hair super long, obviously. I feel like it's easier to manage for me. So yeah, I want the infinity sign on the back of my neck. So now we're getting into like different topic territory. I could go anywhere from here. I do have the rest of my body mapped out. So here's what I'll say, and let's see what I go into specifically. My right leg is already planned out to be every mascot I've ever done, their logo or the animal mascot that goes with it. So I have been Bubby at the Elmwood Park Zoo. I want a bison head on my leg. I worked at the Philadelphia Soul Arena Football League, so I will get their logo on my leg. I've worked with Monty the Fox at the Valley Forge, Monco, Montgomery stuff. They're everywhere. And I want a fox on me now. And the Arcadia Knight's already here because it's the closest thing to my chest. So it's like I can't really get Arcadia Knight again. And then I've been debating getting like... I want to mascot more, obviously. Oh, and then Wawa, too. I completely forgot. I mascotted for Wawa, too. I would get Wally the Goose and also get... what's his name? I was the sandwich, the hoagie. Frick, I forget his name. I'm going to have to skip that, but I forget his name. It's Shorty, duh. Like a Shorty at Wawa, duh. I was him for actually the 2 years ago past, or whichever one just passed before Corona hit. I was actually Shorty on TV and all that. That was so much fun. So I would get like Wawa tattooed on me. Oh, it's gonna be so interesting to get that, like the logo, and people are gonna be like, "You must really love Wawa," which I do, but I don't eat it anymore, kind of thing. I mean, I probably could. I just have to fit in my calories. Um, so my whole right leg, I would like that, and I've been debating getting like characters that I played before. Like I would obviously. Oh, and then I forgot fucking Jurassic Park Blue. I get Jurassic Park the dinosaur on me, Blue the mascot. Because I was a dinosaur and I worked at Jurassic World, Jurassic Park for their live events. And then I played some characters that I just like really like that I would get on my leg maybe. Not necessarily they have to be like characters or mascots, because like there have been some characters that I played that I'm like, oh, I really like that. But some of them, besides the Philadelphia Soul, there's nothing that's really like animal that would be a character, if that makes sense, for acting at least. Trying to think if there's any weird things that I did as mascotting besides like the animals I did for sports teams and the companies. I don't think so. Yeah. And then I want the Beauty and the Beast logo underneath I wanted to wait. So anything that's going to be on my chest. Well, I guess I shouldn't say chest. Anything that's below my chest to my waist, I wanted to lose all this weight first. Like I made a promise to myself I was not going to get tattooed on my abs or on my stomach or on my sides or at my lower back until I lost all the weight, because I didn't want to deal with the fat and all that types of stuff. But I want the Beauty and the Beast logo, like the musical Beauty and the Beast logo, on my left side where that, whole roses and colors are, and then I'll have it the white, normal white, or maybe I'll get it black, we'll see, but because then it'll be covered in roses. The white would look good. So like white and then like the pink or red rose, whatever you want to call it. I want some words on my right hand side where my abdomen is. Just some quotes from bands and the quote that I use for the lion thing. And I want to get Lion's Pride. Oh, that's actually going into my hand territory. So that is going to be interesting. I can talk about that. I almost forgot about that. I eventually, at some point, not if I need my hands not covered for things, which is going to suck. But I think once I get to a certain point, I can get my hands tattooed. I want Lion's Pride across my fingers on the top, and on the bottom I want Lions, so it would be this way, Lion's Heart across my open palm. And then I want paw marks on my palms, and I want roses on the top of my hands. Yep. That's me in a nutshell. And I've actually debated getting a face tattoo. Don't tell my family. I've been debating getting one, but I have to be at a certain point for followers or YouTube or, a certain job that I could act with it and stuff like that. Other things that I want on my back, I actually want a black hawk, a black colored in hawk on my left-hand side, closer to my heart, because there's a whole storyline, and like it has to do with family. Like I want it as like a connected family thing. It's actually a weird story. My family believes that my grandfather, so my mom's dad, follows us around as a hawk. And there was a story when I was out in Tecumseh for a outdoor drama theater show that there were like 20 hawks in the parking lot when I was walking over there with people. And I was like, there is no way this is happening right now. So I want it more as a family memorabilia thing too, just for me. And like, I love that idea. And I just like the way that hawks look, and there's got to be some kind of flight thing put on me. You just gotta have everything like a Pokemon. You gotta catch them all with tattoos. Then I seriously love, I don't know where I'm gonna put them yet. I think I'm gonna put one of them here. Well, actually, I know for one of them I definitely know where I'm gonna put it. So I love Seven Deadly Sins, and I love Escanor like crazy. I actually want his tattoo on my back. So right where my anchor ends, I want that purple or blackish tattoo, you could call it, that he has the Lion Sin tattoo on his back. And then I want All Might somewhere on my lower chest, like where my abdomen meets, because I love both of those characters. They have inspired me so much, and I strive to be like them, just like Choji. I feel like I'm getting closer to Choji, thankfully, and that would be my cosplay character if I ever have to cosplay. I actually used to cosplay as Choji as a kid. I would get a sumo suit, put it underneath, and then I would freaking wear like a yellow shirt. I painted the Akamichi clan on it. I forgot how to pronounce it for a second. And then like the green dress shirt with it. Oh man, I miss those days. That was my first ever cosplay, I guess I could say. Um, and then is there anything else? I wanted Your Name on my ass. Like that was kind of a joke originally, but then I got more serious and more serious about it. But then on top of that, I don't know who I would get to tattoo that on me because it's like a private spot. It's like, oh, I mean, it's not that private. It's just your ass, but there's more to my ass than meets the eye, and I don't want to have to like deal with somebody doing. I would have to shave and all that. It's just a whole process. I want Thor's hammer on my right side because I love Thor, and I feel like Thor is my character, and I love. So I grow out my hair for that reason. There's so many reasons why I do so many different things. Just nobody asks about it. I would like it for that the hammer looks like it's on my hip, and that the hammer like hilt is at the top, and the actual hammer part's at the bottom. So Mjolnir on my side. My left leg, I have ideas. I think it's gonna be my D&D leg because I already have Yasha, and then on top of that I want to put my D&D character, but I want to mix it. So my D&D character that looks like my I love that my one game that I love, and I actually should probably start streaming it or posting it again. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. That's actually probably one, if not one of my favorite games. I want to have half of her face, and one of my D&D characters that we're streaming now and I love so much. I want to have Aloy's face on the one side, and I want to have the werebear side on the other side because my character is a werebear on my D&D stream. I would love to, because my character kind of looks like Aloy and like a barbarian, so like you can kind of see how it kind of relates. And I want that. So Yasha's on my left side of my left calf. I would have the other one on the inside side of my calf on the right hand side. Yeah, I can't wait for that. And then I've been debating maybe getting other D&D characters that I've played because I've loved all my characters so far. But I mean, it's open air. I can really get anything I want. If I want to make it like a nerdy leg, I can make it like my D&D characters, my video games that I enjoy. My left leg is kind of like open for now. Like I can make it anything I want. And I guess this is the craziest one that people ever hear from me, and I don't talk about it too much just because people I think would think I'm crazy, and then it's another walking billboard advertisement. I genuinely, and this has been since 2013 probably too, because I've wanted it ever since I wanted tattoos, like when I first started getting tattoos. I want the YouTube I want the YouTube Play logo on my left pec. And people are probably like, do you love YouTube that much? Genuinely, yes. I watch YouTube every single day. It has become my addiction. It is something that I want to do professionally. And I've kind of been debating waiting just so that when I actually get the recognition that I want on YouTube, then I'll get the play button on my chest. It's just like kind of one of those things. Like I'm still gonna love YouTube, and I'm never not gonna have the tattoo. Like it's something that I still love. It's something that I would still get even if I just still love tattoos and loved YouTube. YouTube has saved me a lot. That's how I found fitness and how I learned about fitness and how to lose weight. That's where I found a bunch of musicians that I was inspired by. I was inspired to do YouTube videos for video games and music and everything that I want and continue to do. I found my inspirations, my models, my life's journey, a reason to live off of YouTube. And I know a ton of people say, well, YouTube isn't that great because of X, Y, and Z, and they're stealing money in our jobs from people, and they're canceling culture people. To me, YouTube, even though it has its ups and downs, has saved me a lot more than people think. And that's why I wanted YouTube to be my main goal. Not just because I'm a performer and I want to be out there and I want to help people, but because YouTube is everything. I watch YouTube every single day, and I actually have YouTube Premium, so I listen to YouTube even when it's closed. Like, some people don't even pay for that, and they love YouTube a lot. Like, I genuinely pay for it, and I watch everything that I can because I love it so much. Making playlists and crazy things. But I think that's it for things. I have other ideas that I just haven't like brought to the forefront. And it's like still like ideas that I'm like thinking of. I kind of want to incorporate like lightning somewhere on me because I feel like that's mostly my element, or like fire somewhere. I was actually debating getting Bowser like on the nerdy side of my leg because that's like was one of my main characters for Smash, and yeah, maybe getting like tokens for D&D, or like maybe doing like dice rolling down my leg would be really cool. But yeah, I make this video also because I don't want tattoos to be a scary thing, and I don't want it to be a hindrance for people to like get jobs and to do certain things. Because you should do what you want, and you should enjoy the art that you get, because tattoos are just art. It's an expression of art. It's body art. You should get what you want anyway, and no one should tell you otherwise. For those of you who are wondering what I wanted to get on my face, it would either be two small things. I would either get on either side of my face, like right where my eye ends, where my eyebrow is. A ton of people have these too. I would either get a really small heart, or I would get a really small lion's paw. Just either one. Because that's what I want. I want something super small on my face, even if it's not noticeable. I actually debated asking my tattoo artist if they could just put like a little spot on me of a tattoo to see if anybody notices. Like I have a freckle on one side of my eyebrow. I forget if it's on this side. I think it's on this side, but it might be on this side or on that side. I was actually debating asking her if you could turn the freckle into a heart, but not for now. You gotta wait. You gotta wait some positions for tattoos. I genuinely think you can get any tattoo as long as it's from the neck down, at least now. Maybe not your hands, but I would definitely say from the neck down, you can get any tattoo that you want, because your face is really the thing that people notice. Neck tattoos are hard to see. Everybody has a tattoo behind the ear now. Oh, and I want roses on my neck. That's what I want. But I'm also debating that too. Not because I don't want the tattoo. I really want a rose on my neck. But, like, freaking shaving is so horrible, and like for it to heal and to be all bloody, and then I have to like shave eventually on it. I want to be able to shave for like 3 months. Well, not that much. It only takes like, for me, it only takes like, well, my neck might be a little longer. It only takes like a month, maybe 2 weeks to a month for my tattoo to heal. Because you put the Aquaphor on it, you're making sure it's okay. I don't know. That's kind of a lofty goal, and we'll have to see where I go with it. I would love to be like, now my inspirations are fucking Joe from Holocene, the band. He's tattooed literally from his neck down. And I've debated doing like, I would love to get paw marks on the tops of my feet. But who knows? I don't think I'll ever get somebody's name tattooed on me. I think that's where I draw the line. Everything else is okay. Face tattoos, totally fine. I don't think I'll ever get somebody's name on me. Definitely band quotes, because some of those things, man, just get you. Like, you know what you are. And I don't understand. I mean, I understand maybe putting like your family's last name on you, but I don't understand the whole hype between like putting your first name on you or your last name on you. But I do love my motto of Lion's Pride, Lion's Heart. That's what I live by. To have the Lion's Pride, that's why I want the hands, because like to have the Lion's Pride to fight for what I want and to fight for people, but also have the open hands and open heart to have the Lion's Heart to like allow people to come in. And that's why I want it as my brand. That's my brand, man. Lions, man. Lions and Lion's Pride and Lion's Heart, and just who I am as a person. And one day the whole world will know, kind of thing, you know? So yeah, I think I'm actually going to end it there, because I can't think of anything else for tattoos for now. I know there will definitely be days where I literally remember, oh yeah, I should have talked about this on the podcast. I should have talked about this. And I only have like 8 minutes anyway. But I could talk for another like half an hour. But I like to keep these podcast episodes at an hour, so we'll keep it there for now. I'm just trying to think if there's any other like random ideas, because I do have a folder on my phone, on my old phone at least, but I'll try it again, but we'll see. But as always, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesperger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short, and I'll always see you guys in the next one. Peace.